Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again. This is round 5 of the Wisconsin High School Esports Association Valorant season. Today we have Racine Park versus Chippewa Falls. So this is going to be a really good one. Chippewa Falls so far this season is 4-0, looking to keep that alive. And then Racine Park not too far behind, only dropping one map so far. So 3-1 on the season for them. They're going to be starting on the defender's side, and Chippewa Falls is going to be on the attacking side. This week we have Lotus as the map. This is one of my favorite maps to play, one of my team's favorite maps to play. I play for my college, but it's a three site map. So you got there's only 3 lanes into these sites though. So unlike maps like Fracture or Haven, Haven has 2 lanes into pretty much every site except for B. But this one you can kind of know where the teams are coming from. But yeah, we're getting right into this first round in just under a minute here. As I said, it's a big map, as you can see on the mini-map up at the top left there, but nothing too crazy going on. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see how these teams are going to be playing with around their sentinels. So, I have to remember the teams here. So with Park being on defense, to start the game, they're gonna have to try to get as many rounds as they possibly can here. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult. You have to spread out your players a lot more than usual with a 2-site map. There's a very quick A main take, pretty much instantly. Rokon able to break the eye in time, but calls for his team to come over as Wallace breaking the door, but here's so much noise. Players running on. Pungent and Mimo able to get picks, bring it to a 2v4. Now that Wallace got a pick of their own as well. Rooster and Seven, very low HP between the two of them, looking to have some sort of heroics, but not able to do it. As Park takes the first round, very, very good hold on their part. As I said, as many defense rounds as you can get, it's going to be an uphill battle starting on defense. You're just trying to get 5-6 rounds, set yourself up to be able to go into that second half and just have something to work off of. Obviously you'd like to win the half 12-0, but it's not going to happen very often. So looking to get just something going to where they can have a little bit of momentum going into their attacking half. But to start out this game, very, very good hold on A by Park, as it looks like we're going to get a B hit, maybe a slow B hit. Seven dodging the eye, making a little bit of noise, making themselves known up in A main, but his team is working towards getting on this B site, and they will be able to take that space as Milk picks up the elimination on Wallace. Mimo trading out, making an even 4v4 in the favor of Park though, because they do have the upgraded weapons here. 3v3 once again, as it looks like we're gonna get maybe a push out by Milk, but decides to back up and play with their team.
We found one.
They do have the Bulldog, but they push into the smoke, not expecting Rat to be there. As Mimo and Rat pushing out C-Link.
One enemy remaining.
Does proc, but Rokan able to take one out before he gets picked up by the turret, and making it a lot easier for Mimo and Rat to push out to finish up the round. 2-0. A pretty solid round on both sides. If you're on Park, you're happy you won the round. You maintained a couple of upgraded weapons, but if you're Chippewa Falls, taking out 3 players from Park is very big. That is going to kind of make it a little bit more difficult for Park to consistently buy up better rifles and stuff. So they might have to save a little bit, like they are doing here. Wallace with the Stinger, Rokan with the Spectre, but as I said, this round, this third round is going to be very important for either team. If Park is able to convert this round, that's going to be very, very good to keep them going. But this is statistically Chippewa Falls' round to win. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit of peek out. Rooster able to get the kill, but Pungent able to trade.
Where are you?
Park backing off just a little bit as Wallace is able to get the pick, but 7 picking up 2 of their own as they are going to start bringing it back towards the site. Pungent picking up the kill on the 7, but Oni able to trade them out, leaving Rat all alone in a 1v2. Does have the Guardian, 125 HP. But Oni and Demons are going to be full health. It's going to be a little bit difficult. We're going to have to get some nice shots out of Rat. Spike has been playing just for a little bit. Here. It's 45 seconds total, but Rat taking their time. Gonna have to speed up just a little bit as this Spike does start to double tick. Having to clear every corner. It is doable, but not very likely. Demons picking up the final kill for the round, securing Chippewa's first round of the match. As I said, statistically that is their round to win, but as I was talking about before that round, Park being able to take out 3 of the Chippewa Falls players with those upgraded rifles in their hands is going to throw a little bit of a wrench into the economy for Chippewa Falls. But as you can see, they were able to build it up pretty well. Only 2 players on low money, but somewhat of a default coming out. Maybe a little fight up here in B. Rooster making a lot of noise towards C, which does get a bit of a rotate out of Chippewa Falls, as these Chippewa Falls players are going to be able to go into A. Pungent and Rokon are going to be stuck up in this A heaven, but I really like the play coming out from Chippewa. Able to make a bunch of noise towards C, which got to rotate out of Park, but Pungent sticking their nose out, trying to see where these players are. Gets a little bit of info, but waiting for their team to get all back together before they start doing anything. A lot of noise being made. Milk is going to be able to make that call towards the team. Are they going to be ready for this push out? They are. They pick up 1, get a headshot onto Wallace, but Pungent pushing out and getting 2 of their own. Rooster picks up 2 with the ult. This is extremely doable. They're able to hit their shots. Not able to do it. Very close. Well played by both teams there, but Wallace, do they have it? They do, just by just under a second. What a round. That was good. I really liked the decision making by Park there. They have numbers, they have a bit of time, they might as well group up and be able to push onto the site as a team, and it proved to be the right idea there. So very, very well played, but can't count out Chippewa Falls. That was a beautiful, beautiful play. I like to make noise towards C and slowly work up A. Hope the players on A rotated off as they did, but looking to pivot a little bit towards C here. It's going to be maybe a bit of a fight as we got Rat pushing up towards Mound. Sees Milk, but are they going to be able to pick one? Not able to do so. Decides to push back into C. Take it safe. Rooster getting the pick onto Wallace. As it looks like Chippewa is going to be starting to take their space towards C. Cutting noise, maybe trying to make Park think a little bit. Where are these players at? But never mind. A lot of noise being made. Rat taking out the dog. Gets the kill through the fire. Oni picking up Mimo in backside, which pushes Rat off the site. 7 using the ult to just clear some space into CT. 3v4. No players very low, so it is a little bit more sided towards Chippewa Falls, but as we've seen, anything could really happen here. Rat gets the first, onto 7, over heals, able to do more damage, hits up demons. Are they going to decide to ult? Oni, the last one left in sight, and does get picked off. That is going to make for Rat to not be able to finish off the spike, but all's well in the eyes of Park. They take the round. Pungent, only 5 HP left after that round, but just enough to get that 4th round under their belt. Very well played on defense so far. I really like how they're not over aggressing. You know, that some players they see somebody and they're like, oh, I have to get this. I have to get this kill. I have to make a hero play every single round. You know, but it's being able to slow it down, play it well, play with your team. That's huge. I really like seeing that out of actually both of these teams. They've played very well. 7 just trying to make a little bit of noise with Mimo and Rat. They did take the space, but decides that they're not gonna overextend here. Rokhan
cage trigger.
Set up on site. Killjoy ult is used. Rokhan probably gonna get stuck in the Killjoy ult here. I don't think they can't sit outside of it, but they're just in for the picking right there. So 7 just cleaning up Rokhan.
Spike planted.
Sky ult does come out, so they do kind of understand where Wallace is going to be coming from, but looks like we're going to get maybe a door open. There are 3 players in tree right now, possibly 4. All the players from Chippewa Falls are going to be stuck into this tree.
1 enemy
as
remaining.
Wallace opens the door and gets 2. Another beautiful retake from Park. Just once again, just being able to slow it down, take their time. You know, they understand that you don't instantly have to defuse the spike. You get that 45 seconds, and it only takes, I believe, 7 seconds to defuse. So you have quite a bit of time to defuse this spike. So I like seeing the slowing, like they slow down the pace of the round. And it seems that Chippewa Falls just expects them to go fast. So they're gonna have to make some sort of adjustment here. But seeing how Chippewa Falls has done this season, I do not see that as out of the question. So we're gonna get a B hit, as Chippewa Falls does not have very much money. So hoping Wallace does hear a bunch of noise, takes out Milk. That's the initiator down, but that raise nade is gonna do a hefty amount of damage, leading to the downfall of Wallace. But Rooster hoping to do some sort of damage here, able to pick up that Vandal and get out to safety. 7 able to get one of their own as well. Mimo and Rat are gonna be coming in from B main here.
1 enemy remaining.
And are just gonna clean up the remaining Chippewa Falls players. Demon's left all alone, but has the ability to do it, but not able to. Just Mimo too good right now. Mimo and Rat very well played. I like coming in from C and opening the door and just kind of sandwiching the players onto that B site. Very well done by those 2. But as I said, Chippewa Falls, it may seem bad right now, but they are going to be getting the rifles, you know, putting an op in Demon's hands. Let's see how they decide to play that, but it's going to be very interesting. I like seeing these plays from all these teams. You know, just how do they decide to change how they're playing? If they're down, you know, how do they go about trying to come back? Milk does get spotted out by the Skydog and invests the eye just to take a little bit of space, make sure nobody is pushing them, but Chippewa is going to be, once again, pushing onto this A site. 7 with the opening pick on the Pungent. Red Rooster ends up getting Rokhan with the Boombot, but the last 3 players from Park are going to be coming from the attacking spawn. Mimo has seemingly unfortunately having some sort of connection issues.
One enemy remaining.
Wallace, the last left, a flawless round. We are going to take a pause just for a second here. Just so we can get Mimo back in this game. Just gotta make sure everybody's all ready to go. And then we'll get right back into it. I'm gonna start the timer right now as we will get back into this match. Very unfortunate that Mimo did end up disconnecting, but that's kind of what Chippewa needed. You know, they got that round that was very, very clean on their part. They were able to just kind of flood into that A site, take their space, take the space they needed, realize that these Park players were not in their spawn, so, and just understand that they needed to turn around. You know, that's all you need sometimes. But Red Rooster taking a bunch of space onto C, forcing Rat to invest.
Out of charges.
Because we are getting another hit onto the A site. Rokon going to be about half HP. Milk able to sweep in and get the remaining 2 on the A site, but
Spike planted.
let's see how these 3 Park players decide to play this once again. Not opting to go for a flank, but Milk is going to be able to take out Wallace as they pulled out the dog just at the wrong time. Getting a little bit antsy there, but the position is noted. Mimo swinging out, not able to pick up 7. 4v2, very, very doable for
Last player standing.
for Park, but Rat left in just a 1v4 now. Just not a whole ton of time left either. They would have to run and start sticking the bomb. So, or sorry, the spike, but decides to save. Rooster maybe going for a pick, maybe trying to disrupt the economy, but all in all, another clean round from Chippewa, getting that momentum back in their favor. It's seeming like they found what worked. So, you know, just hitting this A site, taking their time, getting their picks, and I like seeing the difference in setup here from Park. You know, it hasn't been working having just the fade and Cypher. So moving the clove, allowing those smokes to be used a lot more proactively is going to be a lot better. But it's not going to really be put into effect this round. But we are getting somewhat of a C hit. It looks like a little bit of a split. Maybe 7 trying to make a little bit of noise towards B, but Rooster not going to see Mimo in the corner, but able to pick up one of their own. Demons able to find the finish on to Mimo, but I didn't even see Pungent got taken out by 7 there. So
Spike planted.
Milk getting the pick onto Rat into CT, leaving just Wallace and Rokon stuck in the water. Wallace getting one, but leaving Rokon leaving Wallace, but 7 picking up 3 on the round. That's 3 straight for Chippewa Falls. As I said, they needed just 1 round to get their momentum going, and they're back. So, but yeah, this is a great game so far. I like all the mid-round adjustments that these teams are doing. You know, they're realizing that they're getting info, so they're not starving themselves from where is the other team. I like the Sky Flash going down B, the dog going down B, you know, checking, making sure that they're not just gonna get ran down on B. But Rokon trying to get an early pick, pops the cage, just trying to get out, not gonna take any damage. Mimo left, gonna push out here, maybe get 1.
Spike down.
He's gonna get the handle and just keep on moving. But 7 cleaning her up there. Milk just took the space onto the A site. No players from Park are going to be on the A site. Rokon trying to do some work with 7 and Milk, just denying any sort of retake opportunity from from Park here. Noise might be noted now, especially now that that door is open. Wallace, are they going to clear this corner? Demons
Player standing.
able to take the damage and allow Milk to pick up Wallace, but Rat took a bunch of space onto, or sorry, a bunch of space into A main, leaving just Milk and Seven all alone. No time really left on the spike, but Seven once again back-to-back 3Ks, which is
Last
very,
round
very
in
good.
the half.
Going into the last round in the half, both teams are going to be able to fully buy up the weapons that they need. Demons opting to go back to that operator. It has been working. They have done a bit of damage with it. I like it that it allows them to have a longer range fight. You know, take it if there's somebody playing on stairs like Mimo is maybe thinking about doing, but also maybe not. It looks like another hit, instant smoke onto stairs, leaving just Rokan alone on A. Mimo picking up the slack towards stairs here, but a heavy hit.
Face your fear!
Fade Out comes out, doesn't see anybody, which allows them to just flood onto the site and get this spike down. Demons just watching Breakable here as Mimo and the rest of Park decide they're gonna take the fight to A main. Rooster trying to do as much damage as they can with his ultimate, able to get one, does a lot of damage onto Mimo, but not enough. Mimo pushing onto the site, Seven left all alone, able to pick up Mimo, but Rokan finishing them off, slowing down just a little bit. Rat taken out of the ultimate, Rokan left all alone, 1v2, not a whole ton of time left. Brim ult and KJ Molly is pretty much securing this round, and especially this Brim Molly that's going to be coming out, but very, very well played by both teams. Very close half, especially at 6-6, so, but yeah, I like Chippewa Falls realizing that what they've got working on A is just keep on doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But very, very well played. An even half, pretty much a 0-0 half at this point. Going into the second half, you know, we got the side switch, so we get to see Park attack now. And we get to see how Chippewa Falls is going to be playing their defense. It looks like they're going to be stacking a little bit more heavily towards A, maybe raise-nading off the bat and just denying that early space. The turret is going to be able to just watch that A main, so if they decide to leave, you know, if they hear noise towards B. Oh. Looks like we do have... I'm going to let this round play out because the tech was called right before. I did not have time to pause. Seven pushing out and gets taken out by Rat. Oni and Demons able to pick up Rat. Pungent also getting taken out. Rooster doing work up for Heaven here. Leaving Mimo all alone in C-Link. Bomb is not landed for them. And Oni finishing off the round. Well played by Chippewa Falls, able to keep that momentum going through the half. As I said, very well played. I apologize to Park. I did not see the tech message until right before, so that might have led to the round being thrown off a little bit. But yeah, we're going into the second round. You know, it's in the past. We'll see how Chippewa Falls decides to play their anti-eco here. It looks like they are going to try to save maybe Milk, just doing a little bit of a hero rifle here, but it's going to allow them, if they do end up winning this round, it's going to allow them to buy upgraded rifles and be on par with Park. So Seven not seeing much instantly, so decides to rotate, leaving just Oni all alone, who does end up doing a bit of damage onto Wallace. A nice shot. They are Oni able to pick up the slack here. Wallace left on just, I believe, like 1 HP. They are not able to heal themselves, but Rokan going to be up to full. It takes a little bit of damage, but I didn't even realize there is a fight going on C. Rooster and Seven were taken out by Mimo and Rat, and they are able to take this C site.
There.
all the players for Park are going to be hunkered down onto this C site, and it looks like we're going to get a retake.
Spike planted.
Wallace, as I said, very low HP, basically a 4v3.
That's done.
Pungent takes out demons, but not able, but does get traded out.
Standing.
Milk and Oni. This is very doable if they are able to
enemy remaining.
They pick up the Spectre and putting in the work of 4K for Oni. Very well played. Maybe able to secure the round. And as I said, with the eco, with how Chippewa Falls bought this round, they are going to be able to buy up those upgraded rifles this next round and just snowball this this round win into these upcoming rounds. It might be a little more even, as I said. You know, there's the Park is going to be able to be on their buy round. They're going to be able to have these Phantoms, these Vandals. They're going to be on even ground for the first time this half. But yeah, that was a very, very well played round by Oni, able to secure the round in a 1v3 situation, I believe. So is Milk tossing out the eye as it does get destroyed, gets him a little bit of info on where these players are, but we are getting a bit of a default. Turret notes the position of at least one player. 7 doing a bunch of damage on the Pungent as they look to regroup. Getting the heals going. Figure out where in the round they are at. Milk and 7 taking out the first pick on the Mimo. As they look to just run it down here. 7 gets the first pick. Another 3 on the round for 7, but that allows for the Chippewa Falls players to take this space on the A, but a rotate by Pungent and Rat as they look to go towards A. This alarm bot gets picked up by, I believe it's out of range.
Alarm bot down.
That's very unfortunate, but with the destruction of the alarm bot, Oni knows to pop their
30 seconds
their grenades
left.
there. The alarm, yeah,
Spike planted.
the swarms. Does a lot of damage, leaving Pungent at just about half HP here. Red Rooster taking space in the main. Nope. Now Chippewa Falls knows these two players have to be in backside. Oni picking up Pungent and Rooster finishing off the round, a 1-2 punch to get a 9-6 lead in favor of Chippewa Falls. Just on a roll right now. Very well played. I like, as I there's so many things I like about how both of these teams are playing. I really like seeing how all this information is being gathered, and as the round goes on, Chippewa Falls able to just slowly creep up these lanes and take the space and understand where each player is at, where each team is at, and just able to use the information that they have to just take what they need. So yeah, it's just very impressive to see. As Oni left alone on this C site, gonna be kind of swarmed here, but they do have the utility to get it done to stop it. One swarm grenade is gonna be taken out, but gets 2 before Rad is able to swing out and trade out his teammates. But Demons
Spike planted.
and Milk are gonna be Milk taking on the 3 HP. Once again, all the players from Park are going to be stuck in this bench area. 7 swinging out and getting 2. What a round. Oh my gosh. Beautiful shots from 7 and Oni. And as I said, just well played by both teams so far. Chippewa just slowly working their way towards keeping that undefeated season alive. Park, as I said, looking to take him down, looking to dethrone the Kings right here. So, but it's just Chippewa Falls is just reactively playing so well. They're able to understand how Park is playing each round. They're reacting with their utils correctly, with how they're clearing things correctly. It's just so hard for Park to take any sort of space, especially when you got Seven and Rooster just stunning and nading right off rip, denying that A main, but
Spike down B.
and Seven able to get 2 picks. 5v3 once again in favor of Chippewa Falls. Rooster taking a bunch of space into A main, not able to hear anything, but that Fade Dog does see that Mimo is moving towards C, allowing for the Chippewa Falls players to proactively take this space onto C. Position noted once again, turret is going to be taken out, but Oni holding this. Fatal coming out pretty quick as Milk swings out, not able to pick one, but Park is going to be able to start running towards A. They're leaving Pungent just barely out of the grips of Chippewa Falls, but here comes Seven with the neon ult. Going to be taking a lot of space here. Going to be kind of difficult to deal with, but Rat with a beautiful shot.
Inside, last player standing.
But Mimo left all alone with just a stinger against
30
the Vandals.
seconds left.
Able to take out Demons. It's not impossible. Now, does a lot of damage to Rooster, but not enough. A 5-round lead for Chippewa Falls as they're slowly, they can smell it. They can taste the victory. It's 2 rounds away. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, but Park is keeping these rounds close. They are not backing down. I can tell you that. Seven and Rooster are just putting so much pressure on these lanes that it's just so difficult. Like, you don't know how many players begins each of these sites. Mimo and Rat looking to do a little bit of damage. Maybe Rat swings out top here, but Seven's gonna take a lot of space and ends up getting the pick onto Rat. But no Clove ultimate coming out just yet. Mimo swinging. Doesn't get hit by the op and able to take out Demons. That is a free A site for Park here. Rooster and Oni, they have been putting in some pretty good work here for Chippewa Falls, but do they have a 2v3 in them? They are 1 away from the Raze ultimate. They have the Killjoy ultimate, but do they opt to use this? This is a winnable round. But the players from Park are just playing in such good positions right now. Rokon just waiting for them to swing out, make a mistake. Makes it noted, Rokon taken out. As I said, they were only 1 away.
Last player standing.
But Wallace and Mimo in such good positions, making it so difficult, and able to get Park back on their feet.
Stay safe. You're going back in.
Maybe getting that momentum going for Park. As we will take another tech pause here, just getting some things set. Just getting everything all set up. As we go into the 19th round. 4 ultimates. I believe they just used the Reyna ultimate, so they are going to be 6 away, but 4 ultimates for Park to be able to use. The biggest one that's going to be able to take them space onto a site is that Fade ultimate. But all 3 of these ults are going to be very good. If they're able to get Rokon a pick here, they're going to be able to understand where these players are. A similar setup on A from Rat and Mimo is going to be taking place, but no real push out from Chippewa. Oni getting a trade from A main. Rooster left all alone.
I know
just
exactly.
Just trying to get out with their life, as they are going to be the Cypher ultimate is going to be able to come out. Park now knows that there's 3 players towards C here, which allows Rat and Wallace to just start taking space on this A site. There is not a whole ton of util that's going to be able to be used
Swarm grenade
to really deny this plant, but Oni stuck in drop here, does get taken out by Rat. 3v4 in favor of Park, as they still have the Cypher Trip up on flank, so they don't really have to worry about that, but Rooster, Demon's gonna be coming through breakable here. Rokon taking a bit of damage, gonna have to play it a little bit safe so they can leave Pungent to not really worry about this flank as Milk makes the noise. Demon's doing a little bit of damage, not a whole ton, but they are gonna have to start picking up the pace here. Wallace noted, not able to be taken out by the Bucky. It's very unfortunate. A couple of the pellets missed, allowing for Wallace to survive just a little bit longer than they should have. But it all happens, you know, it's Valorant. You can always just blame it on the game. So I do it. I suck with the Bucky. So, but Park, another beautiful round, very well played, taking it slow, really making Chippewa Falls think. They were just, you know, kind of going through the motions, you know, pushing down A main. As it looks like 7 might try to do that, maybe just get a little bit of info back up on the A, but Rooster taking a fight in C, sees Pungent cross, telling their team that they did see 2, but no real big rotates are coming out as Park does decide to be looking towards A here. 7 rotating over, you know, they got the sprint ability. They're going to be able to
I'm out of here.
head over to these sites pretty quickly. But a pause in the round here. Mimo and Rat taking the space. Rat making themselves known. Same as Demons, just trying to maybe get some damage through the smoke, but
You had your fun.
Milk able to take out one in tree here, but Rat pops the ultimate. Gonna have to push forward, or else they're just not gonna be able to live.
Gotta go.
Rooster playing it perfectly, playing back, waiting, but Wallace
Initiated.
up front in stairs, not able to take out 7, but Oni also getting picked off. Pungent able to neutralize just a little bit. Rokon stuck in tree. There is a trip down, not noted yet by these players from Chippewa Falls. Pungent spamming Rooster through the smoke, pushing out into back sight. Oni, position noted, able to pick up the last one, but Rokon not pushing out in time, allowing for Demon to just stick the defuse, bringing Chippewa Falls to match point.
Match point.
If they try something, I'll see it.
Very well. I'm in awe of how these teams are playing. It's very well. They're slowing down the round. They made all that noise towards Park made all that noise towards C, and then they just decided to pause the round, and it allowed them to take so much space towards A with the rotate from 7. They understand that, you know, they saw at least 3 people pushing towards C, so it warranted a rotate. But just, yeah, as I said, just very well played. Fade Eye coming out pretty much instantly, just taking that mound space, making sure nobody's crossing. This turret does get taken out. Mimo taking this space with only a
I've got
Spectre
your
in
trail.
hand.
Gotta go.
7's gonna be noted. Rooster taking out Mimo. Oni also getting to pick up
Spike
Beacon,
down.
using it very, very well.
One
Rooster
enemy remaining.
getting 3 on the round, looking for the 4K to finish off the map. Demons picking up the final
Defenders win.
Now that
final
was a work of art.
elimination.
Look at
Very,
the
very
wreckage.
well played by
I'm
Chippewa
so
Falls,
proud.
able to keep their undefeated season alive. They moved to 5-0. Park falls to 3-2. Very well played by both teams. It was a very close matchup overall. So, congratulations to Chippewa Falls, but you can't count Park out. That was a beautiful game on both sides. I really enjoyed how both teams decided to play each round individually. It was just it was a very entertaining match to watch. So thank you guys once again so much for watching. I appreciate it. This has been Triska, and I will be back in 1 week for round 6. So tune in. Be sure to tune in around 3:45, 4:15. Around that time, we'll be live once again. But as I said, thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day.